Hey folks, this is Brian. This is one of my Far Horizons game post things, one of Dylnn's logs, but I want to do some intro stuff here. This session was a long one, nearly 7 hours, and I actually did a capture of it. So if anybody's interested in the live play, it's in the description. And there's a 10-minute block in there somewhere where the GM says, "Hey, time I need to take a break. 7 hours, yeah, he needs to take a break." Excuse me. We also had a new player start this session, during this session, and so there was an intro piece that the GM was doing, leading it to what's been going on the past few days to where we are, which is not captured in the live play. Okay, Dylnn's personal log, begin. Okay, so we came in to the coming back towards the village, and we saw it was on fire, and we saw the sailing ship and the camp out in front of it, and so we're all trying to figure out what to do. I recommend we land as close to the camp as possible, and I start running around to kit up. We're still a ways out, so we got time, so we get everything dressed up, and decision made to land north of the camp, but south of the folks that are the Khazinti pirates that are leaving the village with loot, and we assume prisoners. They're still a few miles out. We land, between half and a quarter mile out, because at that point we should be with this ship, not noticeable. And then we contra grab into the camp area. Kind of do a pincer thing with two sides. Myself and Robin are more northish, with Tajin coming from the north east. He's coming around. And then Doc Smith and Ronald come from the northwest. And they're in a little hole kind of thing. There's a cliff face there and stuff. I'm coming up to lay down behind a couple of logs. My intent is to do log sniping on guys who are on the surface of on the deck of the boat. I can see three of them. Actually, there's four. Maybe I see the fourth because of the directions, but there's four of them on the deck. I'm going to start taking them out. Well, there's three guys sitting around the fire. Three Khazinti sitting around the fire. So they'll be able to take them out. I'm not too worried about that. And so I start sniping. Bam, one, he goes down. Bam, two. I think I got the second guy. Because there's people moving over to help the first guy. And that's all I was able to get. Well, that's going on. These guys just tear up those three dudes. One of them goes down right off the bat. The other two move towards the cliff face. And these Khazinti can jump, so they're probably thinking about jumping up on top of the cliff face to get us, or at least get Robin. I think they saw Robin or something. But they get taken out before they can jump up, or at least incapacitated. Robin heads over to the east. I head over to the west because I want to get to the cages, because I'm looking for this female Khazinti with the purple eyes. Renaud came down, already ran through the cage. He says there's two females in here. That's it. And they arrange some more, and we take out the rest of. Was rearranged that way. More Khazinti come out of the tents, like 4, maybe 5 of them. We shoot them up. One guy does get close to Robin, but I take him out just as he gets there. At that point, actually, while we're doing that, Tajin takes off to the ship, contragrab over there. He lands, takes out the last one there, and starts investigating around. Renaud then takes off to the ship with him. I say that I'm heading for the pursuers in the forest, and I jump up and take off. Doc Smith comes with me. Robin heads to the boat. Um, on the boat itself, Tajin's, oh, one guy shows up. I don't remember where from. He would tell me afterwards. But one guy shows up, comes over at him, and they get involved with hand to hand. He ends up, Tajin ends up throwing that one overboard. Ronald gets there. Ronald and Tajin go to the aft of the ship, open up those doors. There's two Kzinti in there. They come out and attack. Can't do too much with the body armor we have because they're just, claws and stuff. So Ronald, jumps back, shoots in. Tajin does a flying kick, misses. But eventually they get rid of those two. Robin goes down into the hold because there's light and shadows and noise down there. There's a couple of cages with more Kzinti in it and some doors. She kicks open the doors. There's two Kzinti there. They've got armor on, and one of them has a blaster. So she jumps back and runs up the stairwell because she knows her razor gun isn't going to do anything through, so this body armor. It's great against unarmored opponents, but now guys are armored up, and so she gets to the top and she pulls out her blaster hot hideout, Dillinger kind of thing, real small. The guy bottom stairs shoots up her. I think hit her, but she ends up shooting a burst down and ended up killing, got him in the head. The other one comes up and they engage. I don't remember all the specifics, but they kill him too. They go down. There's a bilge area. Excuse me. Below that deck, and there's a cage there with a human in it. So they kind of, okay, what's this guy doing here? We'll have to figure that out later. And then they come up and come out. They want to head over to set up an ambush for the pirates coming down south. So Doc Smith and I are heading out to where these pursuers were going and the lone Kzinti being chased. We had the drone up, so we got some direction and stuff on that. And we get to where they should be. There's a cave there. We drop down. Infrared, yes, some folks have gone through here. They're all in the cave. So take a breath, slow down, get up, get the night vision, get the infrared, on, and into the cave we go. I was kind of concerned that maybe the cave might get narrow and I have to drop the Gauss rifle and just go with my blast pistol. But it's 5 to 10 feet wide where we are, fairly straight, so I'm not too worried. We come in. There's a split. One goes off to the right. The other's, further ahead and then to the left. Doc kind of is keeping an eye on the one to the right. I come around to the left, and there's an open area in this cave, and there are a handful of Kzinti on the ground and a handful of Kzinti up, moving around. There's some fighting going on. There's one of those giant cat things in the middle of the room. And as I come in, it jumps on this one Kzinti and starts just ripping into him. So I shoot one of the Kzinti in the back and I shift around the other side because I want to stay, I don't want to shoot the cat. Hopefully it won't kill us. I'm hoping that it's got this connection with people like these other cat things I've seen, like on the Bug Planet with the shaman lady. So there's some kind of mystical thing about these cats. Plus they're everywhere on all the lost colonies anyway. So I'm thinking there might be something going on with this cat, so I don't want to kill it necessarily. But when I take out the Kzinti, I take a couple shots. I take down a couple more. One of them jumps at me. I kill him. Actually, blew him right through the chest. I think he was the last one up. Doc Smith's been shooting at another one. But the cat is not moving, and there is a female Kzinti lying unconscious in the middle of the room. So I go check out the cat. Doc checks out the girl. Cat's not moving. But I'm still wary. Doc checks out the girl. She's been all beat up, so he does some of his doctor stuff on her, and we decide we need to get her out of here, into the fresh air kind of thing, and get her back to the ship eventually, that kind of stuff. So we take her out. Um, what we do as we're sitting there, the Doc notices something moving around by the big cat, and it takes me a while to I focus down and there's something back there. So I figure it's one of these kittens, and it's doing that invisible thing that we know that it can do. So we take the girl out, Doc does more doctor stuff. I go back in, um, looking for specifically the kitten, and to see if there are any more. I see there's one. It's hissing at me as I get close to well, I'm assuming it's the mother cat, and I check out. Yeah, it's dead. And it jumps at me, does a hissing and scratches at me and that kind of thing. But with the armor, there's no issues here. So I pull out my knife and I cut out a sheet of Mama's side, roughly 2x2 kind of thing. To get it down, scrape it all off. So I've got something that smells like Mom, and I try and capture the kitten with it, so it's can still smell Mom kind of thing. And it's hissing, pissing, but finally I get a scruff of it, and it starts to calm down a little bit with that. So I'm able to wrap it up and bring it out. So we take the girl and the kitten, and we go back to the ship, put her in the sick bay, get her set up, put the cat in a box, get it some food, let it calm down if I can. And so we're talking with the other team who's trying to set up an ambush. We're not going to be able to get from where we are with the ship now to the ambush site in time. So they have to shift the ambush site down, which is not really a problem. And we actually take the ship over and land it in the river. It's deep enough that we should be able to hide it down. And then we come up and help with the whole ambush thing. Well, actually, that's not right. That was what our plan was. But then somebody reminded me that the Goblin, the ship we're in, has these anti-personnel weapon systems and targeting computer programs. So we just fly over, right at the bad guys, land, far enough, a couple, 50 to 100 yards away from the Kazinti to not worry too much. And then we come out. Some of them recognize us, and okay, we get back to the village. People are starting to go back there. Just get your stuff. Go, go, go. And we get back to the village, see what's going on. Word gets back to Doc that hey, there's a human being on board the ship. So the Doc and Tajin, I think it is, go back to the ship. They get the guy. Doc does his stuff, and they get him over to the camp. While that's going on, and then bring him back. Yeah, they bring him back to the village. While that's going on, we're at the village. By this time, it's dawn. I'm exhausted. I do find that Kazinti guard who speaks some Carillion, and I let him know there are female prisoners at the camp, but they don't trust us, they don't know us, they can't speak to us. So he gets a couple of Kazinti hunters, and they take off. So I contragraph following them. And that's right, the doc and the new kid and Tajin are still there at the camp. We eventually get to the camp, get the girls, the female Kazinti out, go to the ship, get them out. And these Kazinti guards are specifically looking for something else. They're looking for a female that's not here. We did get in to see the elder. They've got like a makeshift hospital set up there. And he says something about his daughter. So I'm kind of thinking it was a girl in the cave. And that's when they got to go check through the girls. And because the doc is there's the hospital here, we get the doc who leaves camp and comes back to the village. A lot of stuff back and forth. That's why it's taking so much time. Um, he's the village, and he's doing some triage and stuff, and he ends up doing some good stuff to save the old man, which is great. Um, and we get the female Kzinti with the Kzinti hunters. They're going back. Tajin and I, we come to get back. No, I guess we walk. Somebody walks. The new kid, he walks too. New guy he's walking to. So they all walk to the village. By that time, it gets to be near nightfall. So we're helping, with the repairs and triage and gathering bodies and all that kind of stuff until it gets dark, and then we go and get the ship. We bring the ship back, land. Told the old man, "Hey, there's one more female. She was wounded. She's in our ship being treated." He seems thankful about that and relieved. So that's what he gets. Really, his daughter. So anyway, we land a ship north of the village. Far enough out that it doesn't bother anybody. Um, and I get the cat, and the girl comes out. Um, and everybody's kind of there. People are, what's in the box kind of thing, and I'm trying to feed the cat, and it's got a little water bottle kind of thing, and of course it's making noises, and the girl freaks out. And I think she's going to try and kill it, so I step back, and she jumps over me, this kind of backflip thing, and puts her paw out towards me and has her claws opened up behind her. And she speaks some Carillion, and she's motioning for me to give her the kitten. And I say, "Why?" And she says, "Take it to his mother till the mother's dead." And then I'm thinking, I'm assuming there's some kind of relationship between these cats and Kzinti. Um, so I offer her the kitten. I say, "Will you take care of it? Will you be its new mother?" And at that, her visage changes, and she takes the kitten actually out of the box. The kitten actually kind of jumps at her, holding on to her, shoulder kind of thing, and she's holding it down, and it's completely calm now. It's not like it was before, and she's just kind of staring down at it. At that, the rest of the Kzinti start freaking out, and some of the hunters get really angry, are pulling weapons, and are coming towards us. So I step between her and the closest one, pull up the Gauss rifle. No, guys, no, this is not going to happen. You're not going to hurt this girl. And some of the other guys do similar sorts of things. Um, the girl actually says something, and that makes the guys even angrier. Doctor asks her, what is it you said? And she says that I claim it, and they are angry. And I ask her why, and she says, not permitted. So, a couple things here with the xenopsychology stuff. The females in the Kzinti society are docile and submissive. This girl is not. Apparently, taking these kittens is probably not permitted generally, although that seems odd because I'm sure they've got some shaman folks who've got some connection with these things. But definitely not for a female, right? Ronald then asks, is the problem the kitten or that you're female? And she says both. So, we're putting all this stuff together. She's talking some stuff that helps us figure out, okay, things are not going good here, guys. So I start calling out for the first guard guy. I forgot his name, but I called it out. Actually, get a couple times. I'm not out his name. Eventually, he shows up and asks what's going on. When he says that, all of the Kzinti warriors point to the girl with the kitten. He starts talking to them in Kzinti. And hesitantly, they start lowering their weapons, start backing away. Um, the guard tells the girl to go to the hospital. She looks a little, down face resigned kind of thing and goes. But we're backing her up, make sure nobody's, we're going with her, make sure nobody's following, that kind of thing. Um, and once we get inside, we go to the back where the old man is. Um, and once the old man sees the girl with a kitten and what's going on, his vital start, his blood pressure goes up, his heart rate starts to increase. Things are going off on the machines that Doc has set up. So Doc starts, a little bit sedative, that kind of stuff, take calm him down, don't let the old man die on us. So the two of them are chatting. The guard guy's just looking around, kind of upset. Um, the old man is taking this very hard. He's very upset. I ask the old man, does she need to leave? He says yes. I ask, can she come with us? And the two guys argue. The girl gets pissed. She starts arguing. And the elder asks, who will take her? And I say, well, if she will come with me, I will take her. And at that, the two Kazinti guys are talking, and the Kazinti guard guy looks at me and says, take, strong. So I hold my hand, I hold my hand out to the Kazinti girl. She looks at it. She looks really kind of pissed, but she puts her paw in it. She has like a good solid hand on her, and I jerk her behind me. This whole taking thing, right? Making a possession. I'm a man. I take, that kind of stuff. She resists it, but eventually, she's standing behind me. At that, the old man looks very sad and says, you must leave. Not safe. And so we take the girl and go to the ship. So that's where we are now, in the ship, with a Kazinti girl, freaking six-legged cat, pit kitten, a new guy that speaks. What does he speak? He speaks one of the languages, but it wasn't Racioni. Um, and he's from the free worlds, apparently. And he was kidnapped. That's his story, anyway. He was in a cab, gets gassed, and wakes up on board the ship in the wooden crate. And everybody else. Now we got to start thinking about room for everybody in our ship, because it's not that big. And on top of that, so we've picked up three extra passengers, and four extra passengers, and we've got two ships, and we're looking for a third. We're going to have our hands full if we ever get back home. And personal log. Long game. A bit stressful at times. Played out well. I was kind of dominant during this session, and I try not to do that in Bruce's game because I want his players to play. They're doing all right, though. At one point, I thought I was actually going to be able to keep the kitten. That would have been cool. But, no. And there's some kind of thing going on between the kitten and the girl. One of these mystical things going on again. So I'm going to have to try and investigate that myself. We'll see how that goes. But we're hitting 24 minutes. Happy gaming, folks, wherever you